The kings of the Joseon Dynasty were different from each other, but most of them suffered from overwork. Not only do they spend their whole lives educating and studying national affairs, but they also see officials and government affairs as soon as they wake up in the palace without the concept of commuting as they do now. If something big happens to the country, they work hard again and again without a break. As much as he is in charge of a country, the psychological burden must have been enormous. Of course, there are those who overcame all the burden and were reborn as nobles, but there are also kings who could not overcome the heavy responsibility and became tyrants by running away or avoiding it, or died after suffering from the weight of responsibility for the rest of their lives. In order to relieve the mental health and stress of kings who always carry many things like this, there is a resting place in the palace where kings can rest comfortably. The same goes for Hyangwonjeong Pavilion, which we will look at from now on. It is a pavilion inside Gyeongbokgung Palace that was used as a resting place for the king and his family. It is currently designated as Treasure No. 1761. In palaces, pavilions or resting areas were built for generations of kings to rest. Gyeongbokgung Palace also has a banquet building called Jonghoru, but this was a more public space, and Hyangwonjeong Pavilion was a private space that could only be used by the king and his family. It seems that there was no Hyangwonjeong Pavilion when Gyeongbokgung was built. In 1456, the second year of King Sejo, a building called Koasisstudio was built in the rear garden of Gyeongbokgung Palace, and it is said that this building was located in the present Hyangwonjeong Pavilion, but it is not certain. The first time Hyangwonjeong appeared in records was in 1867, the fourth year of King Gojong. It seems to have been built between the time when the reconstruction of Gyeongbokgung Palace began and 1873, the 10th year of King Gojong's reign. It is accepted as an established theory that it was built at the same time as Jeoncheonggyeong. The name of Hyangwonjeong Pavilion means that the fragrance travels far. According to the love story written by a poet named Jo Dun, a scholar of the Northern Song Dynasty, the fragrance becomes clearer the farther you go. Is said to be derived from the phrase. It is said that there was a wooden bridge at the entrance called Hyangwonjeong. Originally, it was a beautiful bridge made in the shape of a rainbow to the north of Hyangwonjeong Pavilion, but it was changed to a straight line during the Japanese colonial period and destroyed during the Korean War. It was restored in 1953 and maintained as it was until November 2021, when it was reborn in its original form. It is said that Hyangwonjeong Bridge was the longest wooden bridge in the Joseon Dynasty. If you cross the bridge, you can see the Hyangwonjeong Pavilion, which consists of a two-story pavilion. It is a pavilion with a theory that it was built together with the construction of Jeoncheong Palace as part of King Gojong's attempt to escape from Hyungseon Daewongun's interference. It is a pavilion with a two-story hexagonal roof made by digging a pond and creating an island in the middle of the pond. It is composed of a regular hexagon, and the upper and lower floors are the same size. The signboard is said to have been written by King Gojong himself, and it is in the form of a hexagonal cornerstone placed on a low stylobate finished with a long stone base, and a hexagonal pillar penetrating the first and second floors was built on top of it. It is a symbolic building that represents the beautiful scenery of Gyeongbokgung Palace and has excellent historical and artistic value as it retains its appearance at the time of reconstruction. There is a spring called Yolsangjinwon in the northwest of Hyangwonjeong Pavilion. Since the water that springs up here flows into the Han River, our ancestors thought that the water originating from the royal palace formed the Han River. The water from the spring is bent twice at right angles to enter the Hyangwonji Pond. It is characterized by several devices to maintain the calmness of the Hyangwonji Pond.